Hello, my friends. I want to introduce you this workflow here. It is an image to video, well, nearly image to video. There is a little prompt involved here. Image to video workflow with CogVideoX Fun version 1.1 or 1.5. So first things first, when you extract the zip file, then you have either the JSON file or you can also drag in this image here. Requirements. I run this workflow currently at a graphics card with 16 GB VRAM. I was not able to run it with my old graphics card, which had just 8 GB VRAM, so the minimum is 12 GB. How does it work? You drag in an image, adjust the prompt, and press Q, and that's it. Well, nearly, because you might have noticed that I use an image with a ratio of 16:10 here. The CogVideo version 1.1, which I use here, has a size limit of 720 to 480. When you go below or above these values with this 1.1 model, then the workflow does not work. Now for the prompt. This is the reason why we still use CogVideoX Fun version 1.1. We give here a camera motion information. I use this lora here. And as you can see in the final result, it zooms in. Camera zooms in. I have here in the note also added the advice from the original manufacturer of the lora. This is what he thinks is best to add to the prompt. While at the note nodes, you might see that I have lots of collapsed nodes here. Here in the models, you can find informations, for example, where to get the lora and where to put it then. This is always a bit of a hassle. When you drag in a workflow for ComfyUI, missing nodes is easy to fix. You go here to the manager, install missing custom nodes, and then everything that is missing gets listed here and you install it. But this does not install here the saved tensor files. This is why I have added here a note where to find it and where to place it then. But back to the prompt. You also need to give advice. What should move or animate in the image? These bubbles here, for example, in the beer, I have added here as a prompt. And without this prompt, the beer glass would be completely static. CogVideoX is a bit picky, though. The cat is looking around, does simply not arrive. So play around and find out what prompt works and what not. You might have noticed that I have here a complete group Florence image to text. What the Florence 2 model does is to analyze the image and create a prompt for it. I am not even sure if this is really useful, but for me it gave the impression in my tests that the image description gives some guidance for the created video then. So I still have it in the workflow. I have to do further tests. Maybe it is even not required and makes no difference. I don't know. At the moment I have it in. And what this here does, the my key text combination, is to combine this extracted caption with the actual prompt. You could completely bypass this part here and simply turn this input back to a widget and then you could place this text here in this node. The sampler, I leave it at the default values of CogVideoX. It has an image encode node, a sampler, and an image decode node. And from there you can already go into a video combine. This is a preview. I usually keep it. In this workflow it is not this important because crop, upscale, and frame interpolation does not cost this much time, but I still have it here as an intermediate step to control what I have created here. So for the crop node, we already have talked about that we have a ratio of 16:10 here. I want for my videos a ratio of 16:9, and that's why I have the crop node here. It goes down to 720 to 408. This is a 16:9 ratio. And here you can define the center. What it does is to cut away parts of the image here and below. And I usually create videos in a size of 1920 to 1080. This is why I have, at the moment at least, this upscale workflow here. Let's turn it on board. What it does is to combine the result of an upscale model with the images from the video by a simple Lankers method together. And this result of this combined images is much better than just upscale model or just Lankers. Lankers gives you a washy result, and the upscale model usually introduces artifacts. And both together look somehow useful. It is not the most advanced workflow, but a working one. You can, of course, do all these steps in an external workflow. That's why this is off here by default in this workflow. Frame interpolation is a very important step. CogVideoX and also Animative or any other model creates videos with 8 frames per second. So this is here in the intermediate result, we have frame rate of 8. What I want and need is 24. I have already adjusted here to 24, and this is where the frame interpolation comes in handy. It multiplies the 8 frames by factor 3, and then we get our 24 frames. VRAM debug, I have it in the workflow. It frees some VRAM space after finishing the workflow, usually 20 megabytes, something like this in the range, sometimes nothing, but I find it useful, and so it is in the workflow. And that was basically it. Everything is explained. As told, just drag an image into, adjust the prompt, press Q, and the rest happens by the workflow. In case you have questions or suggestions, feel free to add them in the comments below the video. Have fun!